Okay, hey guys, how's everyone doing today? I hope everybody is having a good start to their week. I hope you guys are all doing well after the Remembrance Day weekend. That was a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, it was really good to see a lot of people out there. It was so good to meet up with folks I've been talking to for so long and to actually meet in person. That was a lot of fun. So, guys, while we're doing this, please tell me where you're watching from. Check in like we always do. Tell me where you're from. And if I can't see your name, you show up as Facebook user. It always helps if you just go put your name up there and tell me where you're watching from. And guys, if you can, please just hit that share button. Let's get this out there to other groups. Share it out to your reenactor groups, your pages, and do those things. Same old stuff, same things we do every week. If you can do that, I sincerely do appreciate it. So let's jump over here and see who's watching. We got Vanessa. Hey, Vanessa, thanks for jumping in. Hey, Dee, how are ya? How you doing, Walter? It was good talking with you today. Of course, there's the honey. She's all excited. She got herself a hot tub. She's been asking me for like 10 years to get a hot tub, and we just picked one up today, dirt cheap, and it's practically new. So Merry Christmas, honey. All right, so Shane, how you doing, buddy? He was here. It was good to see you guys. Lee, hey, Lee, click the link and get your butt in here. Let's go. Let's talk a little bit. So, guys, really quick, I want to take care of some business. If you haven't done it before, head over to BB3 TV and Paranormal Brew. These guys are networks. They're hosting me, and I do sincerely appreciate them for doing that for us. And if you can, go check out their pages on Facebook. It's BB3 TV / or Facebook.com/BB3 TV, something like that. And the Paranormal Brew. Go check them guys out. I appreciate you doing that. So we're going to jump right in, guys. We're going to talk a little bit about what we came up here with at Remembrance Day, because having been able to talk to a lot of you face to face, it was really eye-opening, and to hear what you guys are concerned about, and some of the things that with the direction the PCWA is going with the 160th Gettysburg. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. We have a couple of folks from the PCWA jumping in with us today. I'm going to introduce my good friend Scott, and also the vice president of the PCWA. How you doing, brother?
Good.
All right, man. Thanks for jumping in today. I appreciate it. And we also have our education coordinator, Sarah, and her lovely man, Evan. So, and this, guys, thanks a lot for jumping in here today. So, how you guys all doing today?
Good. Trying to stay warm.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was easier to stay warm today than it was yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've actually been working in a very cold barn, building like I'm framing walls, and the 27 degrees yesterday was awful. Just saying. All right, so we have Gavin in. How you doing, Gavin? Thanks for jumping in. And Joan, thanks for jumping in. So let's talk a little bit about, let's start with you, Sarah. You were out there with me on Remembrance Day. Like, what was some of the stuff like you were hearing when we were out there, like concerns and things like that?
Some of the biggest concerns that I was hearing was just overall the status of the permit, where we are artillery wise. But other than that, I had no concern. I heard no other concerns. We spent most of our time actually at O'Rourke's talking to reenactors, and everybody seemed so excited to be joining our event, and people voting to come to our event, and the overall excitement of just having something that's kind of unheard of that we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I got some of the same things, and one of the big things like that was kind of frustrating is many times, as I've said it on this podcast or on any other TikTok, I mean, I probably said it 100 times. If you don't hear it from one of us, the people on this screen, it probably isn't true. And this like rumor going around that there's no room for artillery, or we've maxed out artillery or whatever, I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I don't even what are you talking about? We could literally put like 250 guns out here if we wanted to. I mean, there's so much space. So I've reached out to the A and V. I've reached out to other folks and told them that that's kind of mumbo jumbo. It's not really true. So you kind of just let it go in one ear, not the other. But I think this is probably pretty standard for events. I know that in events that I've done in the past, I've run into this, and I don't know why the hobby's this way, but it's like, I mean, I don't want to say anything terribly degrading to anybody, but it's a little bit childish when you have people kind of running around trying to poo-poo your event. When what you're doing, we're working. Everybody here works so hard, okay, to do this. We're our lives, like you and you guys. I hassle you all, like do more, and you guys do it, and people don't realize what's happening behind the scenes. So, if you guys are watching and you are planning on attending the event, tell me where you're coming from. We got Timothy, 10th Battalion A&V voted yes. That is awesome. I'm glad.
That's amazing.
Guys, we're going to invite John Softchin on to the show tonight. John is for those of you who don't know, he is our CAV coordinator, and he's doing an epic, awesome job. So, dude, welcome to the show. What did you think, dude? Your first time walking on the field out there, man.
Yeah. Well, epic. I wouldn't describe myself as epic. I'm just another guy.
But you're doing an epic job.
The site, on the other hand, I've been on the phone with a bunch of folks today throughout the weekend. I apologize. I want to start off by saying I apologize for my voice. I blame O'Rourke's and the Fife and Drum Corps. We had a great time. We were talking to a bunch of folks, and it was an absolute awesome time. Seeing everybody and mingling and politicking and just, I ran into a lot of different folks, and there's some folks that want to do other events, and then there's some other folks that are really intrigued on what we're doing. We're doing something new. We're doing something special, and a lot of people are gravitating towards that. And I was answering a ton of questions from a lot of folks from different spectrums of the hobby, whether they be mainstream or hardcore or wherever you end up. But anyways, talking about the site, and this is what I was saying to my CAV guys in the past 48 hours. If you don't come to this event, if you're on the fence and you're like, oh, I'm not sure, come do a site visit. Come do a site visit. It's going to blow your mind on the accommodations for the CAV. I've done reenactments at like the Brandy Station event is going to be a great event. It's on original ground. That's awesome. I would compare this to that. I would compare this to, yes, there wasn't firing on this exact ground, but we're on the backside. Dustin, am I wrong? We're on the backside of Longstreet's lines, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually, Scott can answer that a little bit better.
Yeah, they actually did their counter march through that exact area.
So you have movements right through that area. You have Black Horse Tavern, which is right down the road. You have a Civil War hospital. You have two Civil War hospitals right there on site. Like, how cool? How much more cool do you need this to be to come to this event? So the CAV site, the CAV camp is fantastic. Great source of water, shade for horses, great camping for everybody, whether campaign or mainstream. There's going to be horse registration is going to be, CAV registration is going to be in camp. So you're not going to have to go to a main area and then trailer your horses over to CAV camp. It's all going to be right there in-house. It's very accommodating. And really, again, if you choose not to do this event, I'm sorry you're making that decision.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else to do at this point.
Dude, you were so excited. I loved it. I love seeing your excitement out there.
Running. I was sprinting through the woods.
Dude, like there was no keeping up with you, man. You were having so much fun, and I love that. But this is exactly. Do you guys see now? And Sarah, you can, and Evan, you guys can both vouch for this too, because you don't get the perspective until you don't understand until you actually step foot on that property, how epic it really truly is. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah. There's. I don't think there's a video or anything that shows off just how massive the amount of land is. Like you can only see so many videos of so many different sections of that land. But whenever you're able to see it all at one time, I mean, you're speechless.
It's
And again,
it's
like the TikTok,
magnificent.
and the TikToks we film and post don't even do like the beauty of it justice. Like that land and everything that we are putting into that land is gorgeous.
Yeah, and we can't take away from what the landowners themselves are doing, because let's be honest, we are blessed, and these and folks don't realize, again, y'all seen me get pretty excited about them building us a street. And Shane, if you try to talk, you're gonna be okay. Now you're not muted. Okay, you were muted. Glad you made it back down to Georgia safe too, by the way. These guys are they just not just building us a road. They built us. They didn't build us. They improved a crossing that they already had over the creek, but they did it in such a way that we can like literally take an 80,000-pound truck over the top of it. I mean, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, guys. I mean, for what these people. Hey, okay, Lee. The link is in the PCWA chat group, brother. PCWA chat.
Come on, Lee.
Let's go. Get it together and get it in here. Let's go, Leezus.
Yeah, to jump in on what you're saying, Dustin, it's we as an organization there are putting so much into this event. Is like it's not possible without other reenactors. And I mean, we all understand the hobby has shrunk since the past 20 years. It's gotten smaller and smaller, but I mean, we're putting a lot out there. We're this fencing project that we're talking about putting in there. That's we're going to need support on that, but we could have a heck of a program. If we can put up as much fence as we really can. And it's not just one fence line. We're talking about multiple different fence lines, and not just a post and rail, but a snake rail fence. And there's other things that, we want to put in there, but it's only possible if you guys show up. And the way that you show us that is register. Register today. Get your $15 in today. Don't wait until January 1st. Get it in today. Tell your friends, tell, another group, federal group, Confederate group, civilians, mounted artillery, get the word out there. This is only possible if you guys put the word out there, and, we lean on other reenactors to help us out with that.
So Shane's joining us really quick. Shane actually spent the weekend here with us at our house, and he went out to the field, and what was your first impression of that place when you went out there, man, as a reenactor, from your perspective?
Just the sheer size of the field, and I was just going over that field as we're freezing our rear ends off by the car, and going there was the great thing about that field is there's so many places, different places on that field. You can do different scenarios. I was just like, oh my God, we can do this here, we can do that here. And I think it just lends perfectly to what we're trying to do.
Isn't it pretty incredible how the way that's set up is you have almost the perfect terrain to do the first day's fight. I mean, almost perfect terrain. And then the second day, you can't get a wheat field that looks exactly like the wheat field. But we do. We have that. Dude, Scott, tell me that it's not like the biggest thing you are excited about.
Oh, it really is. I was stunned when I first saw it. It's so much like the real wheat field. I was so excited about it. It's incredible.
Yeah. So, talk a little bit about, because you're the military coordinator. Talk a little bit about your plans for that thing, man. What's your plans for the second day?
For the wheat field,
yeah,
it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing from start to beginning. When the troops hit the wheat field, it's going to start from there. It's going to build. It's not going to start like two armies meeting in the middle of the field and sitting around looking at each other. It's going to start like it really began. Like when they first meet each other, skirmishers are going to engage first, and then it's going to go from there. It's going to build. It's going to build, and the climax is going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah, dude. Like, this is the one thing I'm super excited about. You know, when you're talking about doing an event, most of the time, like you go to Gettysburg and the GAC events in the past, and I'm not downing them, but you know, a lot of guys complain about this. Think about it. They march you out there in the sun. They stand you there across from the Confederates or the Union guys. You guys are face to face for like an hour, baking and just looking at each other, right? And then the battle just starts. Well, this is going to kind of like build upon itself like it kind of would organically, right? It's going to just kind of be like a natural flow, right?
Exactly.
I'm kind of excited about that. Go. My cat was jumping up on me. So this is going to be all happen kind of organically, but let's shift it back here a little bit. We ran into a couple of things like, hey, Dustin, you know, we've been on the fence for this for a while now. You know, we're not, you know, it's people are like, they don't trust us, or, you know, and it's a lot of it has to do with because we canceled. We've tried this for 2 years before and we canceled. So what's some, as most of the PCWA members are literally here right now, we are missing Jim. And really, I think Jim's the only one we're missing. He's the only one who's not here at the moment, but
unfortunately he is stuck in traffic. We were just talking. I was just texting him. He is stuck in traffic on his way home from gymnastics practice.
Okay. But let's talk a little bit about why. Okay, from the PCWA directly. All right. What do you tell people? Why did we cancel for the first 2 years?
Well, I've been on staff since the first one. Lee and myself have both been, and honestly, we canceled the first one because of the atmosphere, the fear of how of COVID, and just the society that we were in. And when it came time then to question if we were going to do one last year, Lee, you can jump in and correct me if I'm wrong, but we kind of said, okay, we don't know what society is going to. He's actually going to, my dad will be on in 5 minutes. The society that were in last summer was one where it was still a big fear, and how we kind of have said, okay, we don't know how many people are going to go because this is still COVID's still a big thing. Let's see if we can hold off one more year. There's a major year of a major fear and uncertainty going around.
Yeah, I would say that that's pretty much accurate. Like, between the fear of COVID, and I wouldn't say that we didn't really have. There were some issues with the landowners with.
That was the second year.
Right, still, you know, we had the flag issue, and there was just so many obstacles in the past that we had to go through that we really haven't had to go through this year.
Mm-hmm.
Lee, I have to agree with that as well.
Right now, the other side of this is Dustin, why did you decide to leave the museum? And for that one, we're not going to get into a lot of the details on that. But let's just put it to you like this. It was the right move to make. There's no bad blood or bad feelings between the PCWA and that museum. Nothing like that. It's just the situation presented itself, and it's just a better scenario for everybody involved. And that's pretty much where we're going to leave that. But this worked out immensely for everybody involved. And, you know, I just feel like the way everything has gone up to this point, it just feels like this was ordained. You know, how about it? Like, Scott,
it's meant to be. It's totally meant to be. I get that feeling all the time. It's just everything just clicks. Everything just falls into place. It's like it's meant to happen. So it's
and
going to
that's
happen.
pretty.
It's definitely going to
that
happen.
right, and that's like,
Yeah.
and that's like the biggest, like, you know, anytime you're doing an event like this, I mean, you're bound to run into things that are just not going to go right. But this has gone so smoothly. It's almost just like God saying, like, you're this needs to happen now at this place at this time.
I'm waiting for you to say it. God wills it. God wills it.
I saw
It
you.
will be done.
What's that?
That will
What's
be
that
done.
movie, The Kingdom of Heaven. God, you need to get the monk guy. God wills it. No, I gotta insert here. So, you know, with Sarah and Lee, what you guys were saying, you know, you've been PCWA for past 3 years, 4 years. Me coming into it, I'm the newest member as like the equine coordinator. I'm very happy and proud to be a part of this team. You know, also having a background in the hardcore side of the hobby and trying to, bring a little bit of that to this. And I've gotten nothing but positive feedback. So from, other guys that are just, guys that show up to hardcore events to, heads of organizations that are saying, hey, we're glad that you're helping those guys out, because it takes all of us to put on a good show. And that's what we're trying to do with this thing. We're not trying to half-ass, and now I'm going to get a little, un-PC here. And I'm appreciative of that little sensory advisory.
The advisory right up there. Yeah.
Yeah, that side. Yeah. But we're not going to be a bullshit event. This isn't, we can screw this up really easy. And I said that on Saturday. Scott, you were there.
Yep.
And I said we could screw this thing up really easy if we don't do scenarios. And it doesn't, and I think everyone will agree, we want to put on a good show for the spectators. For the reenactors, yes. But for the spectators, because we want them to come not just to our events, but other living histories. We want them to go to the battlefields. We want them to stay involved, and they might get a sour taste if they come to this event and they see a shit show.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want that. And that's why we're doing everything in our power, from Dustin to Sarah, to Lee, to everybody that's involved in this team. I can't tell you guys, how often we talk. We talk pretty much every single day, and we'll probably talk every single day until the event starts.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we're in this to win this, and I hope you guys understand that. And we're trying our damnedest to not half-ass this thing, because you can screw this up really easy. We have a beautiful field. I mean, magnificent. It's huge. I mean, Cav Camp, and 2 spots where a camp's going to be put, you can't see anything modern, period. There's nothing.
No, and cars are even going to be blocked by trees.
Yeah,
yeah, fantastic.
You're not going to see cars. You're not going to see porta-johns. I mean, again, if you don't like this campsite, I can't do anything for you. I mean, but and also the battlefields. But for spectators, okay. So me personally, I have my family, my personal family. I have 30 members of my family going to attend as spectators this event. They're going to come. They're going to make it their family reunion. They're going to stay at a local campground. And that's what I suggest to all of our reenactor friends. Tell your neighbors, tell people, your coworkers, they don't have to participate. Have them come spectate. Have them come get involved in that way. So anyways, guys, I got 5 more minutes. I'm going to shut up now and let somebody else talk.
No, that's all right, man. Do appreciate your perspective. And dude, your enthusiasm and your excitement, dude, is like, it's contagious, man. It really is. It's contagious. And everybody here that's like literally on right now, except for Lee. I don't know where he is. Where'd he go? Lee.
He dropped off.
Okay.
He's coming back, I think.
Did
Maybe.
you decide to quit, Lee?
There he is.
Okay.
No.
You're lagging out. It's hard to hear you, and your screen's frozen. But all right, anyway, but yes, I mean, the one thing that the other side of this thing, I want to talk a little bit about the permits, and I want to make this clear because
Yes.
this is the big one. And since nobody on this screen has dealt with permitting except Scott and I, and Scott hasn't dealt directly with Wesley, so literally I'm the only person who's had conversation about this. So I'm the only person with the answer.
I talked to Wesley.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, good. I stand corrected. Have you talked to him recently? Did he tell you the new?
No, but I haven't talked to him recently. The first time I talked to him and the last time I talked to him was when I gave the bad news that it's going to take 40 days for the permit to go through. So
yeah, right, and that was because we had to wait, and this is what changed. We had to wait because we needed to get on the township's agenda to be able to be heard. But there's been an amendment to the way permitting is done in Cumberland Township, according to Wesley, at the PCWA. Not the PCWA, Pennsylvania Code Alliance, or is Pennsylvania Code Alliance is what that is. Something to that effect. PCWA, something. Yeah. But anyway, those guys are the ones who actually do the permitting now. It's not done through Cumberland Township Board of Supervisors. These guys actually they do all of the analyzing. They go through the permit, make sure your standards are there. And believe me, Scott knows this. Okay, it wasn't quite as hard as some folks some folks were making it out to be. We'll leave it at that. I see people rolling their eyes, chuckling, laughing because everybody in here knows. But it was not as hard as it was being made out to be. But it was still a difficult process. There was still a lot to do.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
Right, and Scott nailed it. He nailed it down. He did have help. So yes, our hats off to you, dude, for coming in here, just being thrown into the vice president situation, and you did a great job. So congratulations on getting that done. So now Wesley said, Terry says, I beg your pardon. Terry, what did I say or not say or do wrong? Come on. Send me a private message if it's bad. But so Wesley said to me, and I called him, I said, hey, what's going on? And he's like, well, yeah, I didn't tell you. And I was like, no, didn't tell me what? And he says, there's been an amendment. So they handle that stuff themselves. And Wesley said our permit is pretty much approved by their standards, by our standards. What we had to do, we've met the standards. We've met the insurance requirements. The insurance requirement is $5 million of coverage, and it has to name Cumberland Township. It also has to name the landowners and things of that nature. We met all those requirements. The only thing that we are waiting for is the police chief to sign off of it, and we will absolutely have our permits. So we're rocking and rolling. Things are good to go there. And if there is any problem that the police might have, we'll address the issue and we'll meet the standards. So
I don't think there's going to be a problem.
You were very thorough.
Yes, I was.
When
you're dealing with government entities, you have to be thorough.
So can we squash the rumor mill now, please?
Yes.
So all these people that approached me over the weekend, well, we heard that y'all don't got your permits. I'm like, we got them.
It's a done deal.
It's a done deal. The event's going to happen.
It is. So we are in good shape. As you see, nobody here is even concerned about anything when it comes to the permit. That's
a bit.
Trust me, these people, all of us, are spending money on this event. Yeah. I don't think anybody would do that if there was any doubt or question. And so let's move past the permits. We're in a good situation when it comes to that. The only other thing, guys, go to the PCWA.org and register. There is something I do want to address, and I think Jim, I wish Jim was on here, but we need to.
He should be on shortly if you wanna. If you
Hey,
wanna wait a moment.
Dustin, I'm gonna jump off. I got dinner I gotta go to. So, thanks for having me on. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks for being here, buddy. Thanks for everything you're doing, man. Later. Okay, so the something that has been brought up to me a lot is tickets. When tickets are purchased, as spectator tickets are purchased, they go to the website, they fill out the form, and then they don't get anything for that. They get a confirmation email, but we don't have physical tickets that are sent out to you. That stuff is, you just get a confirmation email, and you can bring that confirmation email to the event with you, but your name goes on the list. Okay, but now here's the tricky thing, and this is something I think, Jim, we're going to have to kind of work on to get through this. Let's say if Sarah is buying a ticket for Shane as a gift, well, Sarah's not coming to the event. Shane is. Shane shows up there and says, "I got a ticket. But there's no Shane, Pinson registered or as being shown as having bought a ticket. There's a Sarah." And we got Sarah's information, but we don't have Shane's. So maybe what we need to be doing is changing that up. So giving people an option to name those tickets, because when they show up, they to the gate, they're going to have to tell us the name of the person who made the purchase, because that's the name that's going to be on our spreadsheet or our sheets when they show up. They'll be there.
Or just number them. I guess you can number them.
Well, we don't have any physical tickets to number, so that's kind of the problem.
Okay, yeah.
Now the day of the event, when we are giving passes and things of that nature, the day of the event, give me one sec here. Okay. The day of the event, you screwed me up. You'll be given passes. Those passes, are either if you get a 1-day pass, or you get a 2-day pass, or you get a 3-day. So you show up on Friday, or the pass that we give you, there's going to be options for us to actually punch the ticket or something to that effect that shows that those are 3-day tickets, and each day you'll get a punch. Okay, so hold on, here we go. Hey, there he is, Mr. Beagley himself in the flesh. How's it going, man?
That's good. Sorry, I was in traffic on 81.
No, hey, oh God, say no more.
All those truck drivers.
Yeah, God, I hate those guys.
Me too.
Well, America doesn't roll without them. Let's be honest, okay? No American way without truck drivers. So God bless you guys for doing what you do, but y'all suck. No, I know this personally as a former truck driver. But so I'm glad you're here, dude. What we were talking about here just a second ago was the website. When people buy tickets, like spectators, they buy the ticket, but the ticket's not like identified to anybody but the purchaser. So if they buy 3 tickets under their name, how do we know who's showing up and if they've actually paid? They would have to tell us who purchased the ticket.
When they register, you can put the actual attendee's name in there. So we're getting several that are what's the word I'm looking for? Corps commanders or company commanders that they're registering. So it'll say Dustin Heisey, and then it'll have underneath that, and there's another column, if you will, it'll say Evan Leiter. So that sort of thing, private, kind of thing. So I'll have to go through and parse it, but that's how it's coming up right now. And this is the first time we're using this system. It's the same system that Cedar Creek used. So we're learning through it, working through some of the bugs. But everyone should get a PayPal receipt. Everyone should get an email confirmation, and if you don't get one, let us know, and then I can, or one of us can send them that confirmation back to them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, no, that was my wife.
I know, I'm joking with you.
So So what I'm thinking is we need to, figure out a way to kind of make that so people can show up at the day of the event and get in there. You know what I mean? Like without a hassle.
I do, and I don't have a complete answer just yet. You know,
Okay.
we do have people's email addresses that we can say, hey, here's your list or something like that. The problem was that we started down this road and we're getting registrations, we're getting spectator tickets and things like that. And we got a bunch, and then it was kind of hard to change horses midstream, if you will, to use your cavalry references. So right now we're cocking and floating. So we can't really change. We're going to figure out a way to make it work for everybody, though, in the end. I don't have an answer yet, but we are exploring different options to get people answers to, or ways that they can just show up, here's my ticket, and go from there.
Right, because that'll be, I mean, obviously that's the most simplest way. But in the interim, what we've done is created digital tickets that you can print. We will send them to you upon your request. And I will send you out either it's if it's a 1 day or 2 or 3 day pass, it'll be written right on the ticket. You can print them out and give them as gifts. They won't be valid at the gate. You'll still have to tell us who you are and check in. But we will have an expedited line for people who have prepaid to get you right in. And it should be a well-oiled machine by then. So we'll do what we can. So do you guys have anything in particular that you want to talk about? Anything you want to add? Anything you want to put out there?
I want to, since my dad is on, touch on, well, there's two things. One, we have to give credit to Evan for all of the TikToks that he has been doing and posting and editing, all in his spare time while running yet another TikTok account, and helping us out there, because I don't think he gets enough credit for it, and he won't take any
excellent
credit
job. Excellent.
And number 2.
I totally say this stuff to you all the time. Thank you so much. I mean, I don't know what you're expecting me to do.
Dustin, you take all the credit.
Oh, you're so full of it.
And
Although you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. Whatever.
No. Actually, I take that back. It's my father, but still, because he asked me, not you.
That is so not true.
The other thing that I would like to touch on is there's actually a comment that says Billy has 10 formal teachers attending the event, which I saw that and I'm very excited for, because my dad and myself are putting together and running the education side of it, which I feel like isn't talked about as much as getting reenactors. We are so excited for our education side because my dad and I are both educators, and we are running this of our education side for teachers and for kids as well. And we are, I lost my train of thought. The dog is barking. And we are we're gearing it towards an audience that I don't think has been dusted. We're gearing this event as an education side towards kids and a group of people that typically isn't focused on when it's focused on education. People are focused on like bringing the kids and young ones in. We want to bring the teachers in too.
And D, you make a good point. We do talk a lot about soldiers and reenactors, and I mean, the military aspect of it. I don't intend. We don't do that intentionally. But when it comes to that kind of stuff, I've always been a military guy. I've been like a reenactor the whole time, like a military reenactor. So that's on me. Some of the people who've done civilian stuff, Sarah, you've done civilian stuff, haven't you?
It's probably been a while, but
But you are the education coordinator.
Yes.
Between you and your pops down there, you guys are the ones kind of in charge of all that. So I need you to maybe start putting a little bit more of the foot forward to help the civilian side of this event out, because I'm lost when it comes to the civilian aspect of it. Even like the living history side of it. This gym is like, this is right up your alley, dude. Like this is right up your alley.
Been doing it for a little while.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I send everybody to you. So D,
right.
If you have any questions, that dude on the bottom left-hand side is who you want to talk to, or even this one over here. You can do that.
Yeah. So some of the stuff we're looking at, again, other events have had author talks, and we're going to have some of those, and we're going to have some experts there that are going to talk about different things. But we're also getting some specialized ones. We've had someone reach out that wants to portrays a first-person chaplain in a Confederate Army. So we're going to look at that type of things. So we're looking at having areas where there's like a main speaker's tent, if you will, and then we're going to have a sub tent, and then maybe we're actually looking for a place for people who do these kind of first-person impressions to have a stage where they can come and do a talk, or we can have I'm a big into education, as you stated, that have somebody, if we want to do a arms and equipment, or we want to have somebody, if they can wheel a cannon in, and let's talk about a cannon and have it on a central location. So little things like that we can get this to do. We're hoping to do some live streaming of it, to be able to reach out to classrooms. We're going to reach out to teachers and get them involved so that they're doing it. When I did, it's funny that I talked to Barb Sanders, and I'm sure Dustin, you know her, years ago when I was doing my doctoral dissertation, and she said, Gettysburg is the Civil War to the world, and we want to try to bring that to them. So we want to reach out to everybody as much as we can and get the event and get it out there so people can see it and interact with it in ways they may not have before.
And I think too, we're also looking for like unique, I don't want to use the word unique, but people that are willing to come and talk about stuff that really isn't talked about, to draw interest, such as we have talked about finding somebody to do Civil War photography, talk about the stuff that's overlooked in these bigger and mainstream events.
Yeah, I love that aspect. Look, Scott and I are both photo guys. That's what we do. I mean,
that's what we do.
We are co-authoring a book together, where Scott's really doing all the work and I'm writing his coattails.
And I just quote him in blog posts.
You have your place.
Exactly. But we've done a lot of photograph work in Gettysburg. I've made 4 discoveries. Scott's made discoveries, and 2 of those discoveries we found independently of each other pretty much at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And we validated each other's finds, so we love the photography aspect of what we like of the Civil War, and Gettysburg. It's so important. So we definitely need to have a seminar or something, or I'd love for the Center for Civil War Photography to come out and do a seminar. Scott?
Yeah,
right.
Great.
So then, and there's not only that, but so again, in my wheelhouse is, I've worked with both you and Scott on, how do you take those images, put them on the battlefield, doing overlays, integrating with them, whatever you want to do. How do we take that and learn from it? Maybe you guys have already found a location, or William Frastanito has already found the location, but what can we learn more from those photographs and how the photograph was taken? So it's not just a surface learning, it's a deeper learning, deeper understanding of the role that, how we can interpret. Now they're using these photographs of like the Devil's Den area and Little Round Top and that to rehabilitate the area so that the landscape is looking the same. So, just little things like that we're able to do with it's beyond hey, here's a photograph of a bunch of dead guys, kind of thing. It's more about what are clues inside of that, and how can we, what we can do, and just do a deeper dive into it, and how can we put those on a Google Map so we know exactly where they are and the angle that the photographer took the picture.
That's awesome.
I don't know whether you guys saw it or not, but thanks, Kate. I don't know whether you guys saw it or not. There was an article in the New York Times that a guy did 3D modeling and rendering of the known photographs that were taken at the dedication and Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. And he he found a new location of the speaker stand and the shape of it. So he is saying, like, if you're looking at the Soldiers National Monument into the Evergreen Cemetery, like the stand that the Gettysburg historians and again William Frastinito found would be like close to the left, closer to the gatehouse. His is more to the right a little bit, maybe another 50 yards or so.
Right.
And the shape is different. It's not a rectangle. It's more of I don't know what the word, like a trapezoid maybe or something, because all the people they had on the stand wouldn't fit on one of those. So it was an interesting story. But how do you take that and then put that into a learning environment, and how do you learn from that, and how did it work? And so again, we're just taking those photographs that we know everybody's seen and just going one step further with them. And again,
so educational.
It's so educational.
You learn so much from that, and that's why we work so hard. And that's why Fraz's work is so important. That's why the work Scott and I are doing is so important, because it's going to educate. And again, that brings us back to the whole thing. We want to educate the public. That's what our organization, the PCWA, in its entirety, is really educational based. This whole organization is based on teaching the Civil War. And guys, Jim Beagley has a site called Teaching the Civil War. I mean, he literally has a website, and he has incredible stuff down there. You guys should go check that out.
Recently redesigned.
I mean, and it looks great too. So that's where and why we push things like standards, and you hear this stuff and people talking about why we want you to look good in camp, and because we don't want to mislead people. We want to tell the story. John, you guys saw John was on here, Soft Chin. He sent me a video the other day, and it was moving. It was very moving. And the whole, to sum up the entire video in 2 words, it's remember us. Remember us. That is why we're doing it. Okay, this entire height video was incredible. It's showing different aspects, military stuff, and all really it comes back to the end is remember us. And what we're trying to do here at the PCWA is put on a really good quality show that we can all be proud of, but that you can, as participants, can be proud of. And then the spectators, when they come, they're going to have an incredibly immersive experience.
Can you help, Kate?
We're going to show you things that you might not have ever seen at an event before. And we're going to try to create that experience for you. We're giving you value. But then I want to jump into the financial aspect of this, because I know this is a big, go ahead.
Dustin, I actually have to go hop off to eat. I was waiting for a moment, but
is your stomach growling?
Yes, I am.
We're totally done in 10 minutes anyways.
Well, I'm becoming hangry and tacos are waiting for me. So
go get y'all taco.
I'm going to go eat some tacos because I have.
Thanks for jumping in, Sarah. Appreciate all your hard work.
Oh, wait, she gets to eat? I haven't even eaten yet. I mean, gosh.
Hey, guys, I'm sitting here munching on a English.
My daughter brought me a bowl of cereal that's dry.
Everyone's got their dinner plate. Scott, where's yours?
Mine. Haven't eaten yet.
All right. Thank you for everything you and Evan are doing. Let's get that next TikTok up and rocking.
Wait, he wants to say something.
Yeah. So, sorry. So before they leave out, just again, for those of you that might be interested in the education port, education at the PCWA.org will get to Sarah and I. If you've got questions, if you're teachers, you're looking for lesson ideas or integration ideas, I know it's off the school.
About it.
Or there's something that you are an expert in that you want to talk about. We're looking for those first person kind of things. We're looking for experts in different topics. So
Shawnee, Shawnee, I think I'm saying your name correctly. She is the Civil War soap lady, but she's also somebody who's got a lot of experience in this. And Jim, I'm going to have her reach out to you directly. So Shawnee, reach out to Jim. He's the person that you want to get in touch with, because yes, he could definitely use your help in this. So do that. Reach out to Jim. Jim, the guy down here on the left. All right. Jim, tell people what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Get a hold of me. I don't, for personal reasons, my Facebook is kind of more private than most, but you can private message me on Facebook. That's one way. The education at the PCWA works. And my website is teachthecivilwar.com. That's another way that you can reach me, and resources. I've been doing that for a long time now, and looking at those types of things. So those are a couple of ways that you can get me. I'm active on Twitter, but those are the ways. The education at PCWA.org, thepcwa.org, my website, teachthecivilwar.com, Facebook Messenger. Don't send me a friend request, so I probably won't accept it. So, and that's personal. That's got nothing to do with most people. It's just a personal thing.
Sure. So Shawnee, that's who you want to do. I hope you got all that. Get in touch, and when she reaches out to you, Jim, give her the time. She is going to be an asset for you.
Yeah.
There's our fundraising coordinator, Lisa, checking in. Speaking of fundraising, guys, as you all have seen, I have acquired the PCWA's raffled musket. And we are excited to get that up and going. It is going to be the best opportunity you'll ever have to get a musket for $20. And anybody who's reenacted for any long length of time knows that these things used to be $800, brand new.
Oh, they're more than that.
They used to be.
Yeah.
I got my Springfield years ago for $800. This musket off the wall was $1,500. Now, this is a slightly used musket, but it is practically brand new. It's in very
good. Defarbed?
It's a beautiful piece.
It's not defarbed. It is not defarbed. But maybe we'll take care of that. I think what we'll do is I'll try to get that taken care of. I'm sorry, I'm getting messages as we speak. I want to make sure I'm answering this stuff while we're live.
And that's not a bad deal for $20. We're saying $20.
It's an Enfield, correct? It's an Enfield.
Yeah, I was just gonna go get it.
Yes,
it
is.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It is this beautiful,
nice
3-band Enfield musket.
Sweet.
Right here. And this could be yours. And look, it's for a slightly used. This is the only place you can see that it's actually been, it's got some dings on those buttstock. $20. It's completely functional, completely works. It is a beautiful, beautiful musket for $20. And there's my beautiful wife who is showing off the musket, and that could be yours for $20. That is a huge deal. So you're gonna look at that, Jim. That pink suits you. Pink suits you. The trees behind you. It's beautiful. Brings out the color of your blonde hair.
It's fabulous.
You can't wait to feed that. Oh wait, you got a musket too?
Oh yeah, you showed me yours. I'm gonna show you mine.
Oh, Scott's whipping his out. What do you got there? What is that? An Enfield?
Enfield. Oh, Scott's whipping it out.
Is yours defarbed?
Yes, it is.
So let's explain a little bit what that means.
I don't rightly know.
Okay, so I'll tell you what it means. Hey, Lisa says, "Hey, girl, hey." Of course, she does. So basically, defarbed is, and the musket's all the way on the other side of the room again, but there are markings on there that are like modern, like stamps and things like that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That stuff gets all taken off.
They get, I gotcha. Yeah.
They make it look like it's just an authentic looking musket. And if we can find somebody, or somebody wants to reach out to me that knows how to defarb, I will probably hire your services, because I would like this to be given out as a defarbed. And I just got a number for you, Jim. I'm going to shoot that over to you for Shawnee.
Okay.
All right. What's the question? Oh, we were asking. Guys, by the way, Graham, I have to give this man a shout out, because this guy has single-handedly sold our event to the Western Alliance. And I think it's a lot because of him. We are getting a lot of people from the Western Alliance who have committed a max effort to our event. So hats off to you, Graham, and everything that you did to facilitate that.
One thing we are getting too, Dustin, we get some questions like people like, hey, I don't have a unit, or I'm coming from far away, my unit's not coming. We'll find you something. We'll find you a unit. We'll find something that aligns with your reenacting style. We'll fit you in. There's lots of people that are accepting. So, and it's part of the community it is open and accepting in the community. So, just sign up and come. We'll find you a unit to fall in with.
Yes, absolutely. And that is one of the biggest ones. And, the other thing is people keep asking well, if I don't, what do I put in if it's just me or whatever? Don't get too hung up on what you're putting into the fields on the website. You mainly want to tell us that you are Union, Confederate, infantry, cavalry, artillery. Those are the important things that we need to know. After that,
if you're a campaigner or not, you can't put you in with the mainstreamer. If you're a campaigner.
There's a big black dog on Jim's screen. There we go. Now, I want to clarify here a little bit about what Scott just said. Why does it matter if we aren't really emphasizing campaign or mainstream with your Civil War reenactor? Because it does change the way you camp. It's because you might not want to be put in the garrison encampment, or you might want to be placed in the garrison encampment. You don't necessarily have to tell us you're a campaigner, but you do need to tell us how you're going to camp. So that's kind of where that comes in. Right. We need to know if you're going to be in the heavy camp, or if you're going to be camping light.
If you're going to be totally immersive, or not. Right. If you want that experience, or if you just want to lay back and
So
after
the other thing
it's all
is,
said and done. So
I saw that one group, they're putting together a complete Zouave battalion.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's really cool. And we've reached out to them. We're going to have a big demonstration area. They're going to do a demonstration on Zouave drills.
Awesome.
Which is it's things like those that's going to set our event apart from other events.
Absolutely, guys. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bring into the stream. Graham Salisbury himself is going to join us here real quick. Graham, we can't see you. Your screen is there. You are. Thanks for jumping in, man. And seriously, from everybody here at the PCWA, thank you for everything that you've done to help, facilitate the getting the Western Alliance involved. So we appreciate your work on that. Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, now we can. Yeah. You were kind of froze there for a few minutes.
Graham, there's someone that can do defarbing. So there you go.
All right, Graham, can you hear? Are you having trouble? Bad connection issues?
A little bit.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me now?
You're cutting in and out. We might have to drop you off the feed here. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm sorry, bud. It doesn't look like it's working. But Graham does have some contacts for getting the muskets defarbed, and we can go ahead and get in touch with him on that and get that figured out. So, and I did see somebody. Let me go back up through here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, can defarb. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know who Lodgewood Arms is, but we can look into that too.
You talk about reenacting, and I thought I heard somebody, it's not as big as it was, years ago, but whatnot. But that's one of the things I'd like to have too, is a talk or a demonstration on the types of reenactors and the levels and what would it take to get in at different levels. Because again, we're throwing around words that we're familiar with, campaigners and mainstreamers, and and they are different levels and different commitment levels and different monetary levels. And somebody who might have a family might not, might have a different impact versus, a single person, or that sort of thing. That or financially, where can you come in, or how can you, you don't have to have an $800 musket off the bat. You know what I mean? So. And some of these units have things that you can try to get started. So I'm hoping to get some people together to do a talk like, hey, so you're interested in reenacting kind of talk, and this is what it would take. But I want representation of each level, or each, that's probably not the right word, but each group, if you will.
Well, I think the best way for you to do that is you add that into the schedule. You add that in for a couple of, in all 3 days in the like the program. And, I guarantee you any number of reenactors who are participating in this event would love to come up there and talk.
Right.
And why not? Don't waste the opportunity to recruit. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Right.
Really, and at the end of the day, we're all aging out. I mean, we're getting older, and some of us are getting a lot fatter. And and we need young blood to come in and represent these guys, because you guys are the future. The youth is the future of this hobby.
Sarah goes, her and Evan.
Exactly. Yeah. And what they're doing is important. They have more of a connection with the younger generation than we do. We're kind of old school. Most of us here are old school guys. We kind of know the old ways. But Jim, you being the educator, and you are more in tune, technologically than even I am, and I try.
I work around high school kids for a living,
Exactly. And you still have hair to talk about. I can't believe it. But, all right. So here we have a question. Oh yes. When are we going to have another work weekend? Well, I want to go. I mean, I'll be back out there working as soon as hunting season's over. Now that hunting season is going to be in for the next couple of weeks, nobody can go out to the property. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about taking a trip out there to see the property, I don't recommend it right now.
No, there's a bunch of deer stands out there. You would get shot.
Yeah, these guys are very serious about their hunting. Stay off of the property until after rifle season. But if you are crazy and decide you want to go out there, I'd be wearing bright orange. But you might get run off. I just would highly recommend not doing it. But otherwise, so you guys are aware, a lot of people did come out. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the experience that we did have. Remembrance Days, like Lee had said earlier, it's both the best time to get reenactors to come out to the site and also the worst time to get reenactors to come out to the site. Because, well, Remembrance Day is Remembrance Day. They're not there to come out and see our property. And they're there to commemorate and remember, the Civil War soldiers and the veterans and things of that nature. So we did get a great turnout, though, which was great. We took multiple tours, and we did a lot of things, and a lot of people got to see, and we got a lot to answer a lot of questions. And I answered a lot of questions and concerns when I went out to the mine, the couple of nights that we went out to the mine, and it was great. It was a great experience. But the people who actually got to see that property, it changed the way they felt. The one guy literally said to me, he goes, "Dustin, I just didn't know until I stepped foot out here. I just didn't know." And this guy's been following and watching our videos the whole time.
You can see it on video, you can see pictures, but until you're out there, you can't really experience it until you're out there.
You don't understand what we're talking about and the videos and everything. Yeah, exactly what we're showing. It doesn't do it justice.
It doesn't. And Shane came all the way up from Georgia, to be a part of this and Remembrance Day. All right, we're going to give Graham a shot. He's jumping back in. Hey, buddy, is your connection any better this time? Doesn't sound like it. Graham, can you hear me, bud? He's not having any better luck here. Sorry, man. It doesn't seem like it's going to work, unfortunately. But to Tom's question, we don't have an official work week scheduled. We will get something on the schedule. Scott, when's the next official meeting that we're having?
I believe it's going to be in January with the leadership of all the reenacting units, and we're going to go out there to the site. We're going to, of course, we're going to get, some, hands-on, working involved in that, and then we're going to have like an after party where we're going to go to the mine and just kick back, have a couple of drinks,
Get shitty drunk.
Yep.
Speaking of, you did leave your bag in my truck.
I remember. Yep. My wife reminded me of that.
Yeah, and there's a couple left in there. I do believe I'm going to partake in those.
All right.
Scott, you're welcome to leave a camera in my car anytime.
Dude, Scott's cameras are incredible. He's got that lens that he has. Oh man.
No, I would never leave my camera anywhere. It's like,
dude, I need you to come out.
Appendage.
I need a class from you.
Not that big, Scott. More like an appendage, right? But I do want you to come out to one of my sites out there on the rose pasture and recreate. So
sure.
You say leadership is that talking battalion commanders and above?
Yeah. Yep. And Chris and Mike, and we're gonna put that together, and we're gonna get the dates nailed down, and of course you're gonna be there, and the rest of our members of our group, they're gonna be there as well if they can make it. So
yeah, I still have to get Jim out there. Jim still hasn't seen the property.
Jim has done an extensive review via Google Earth. Thank you.
That dude does no justice.
I know. I'm joking with you.
Does no justice whatsoever. And like I said, I mean, dude, life happens. We get it. I mean, not everybody can, drop everything and do so. But I seriously do appreciate everything that you and everybody else has put into this. And I know I can push a little hard sometimes, but we have a huge undertaking here, and it's incredibly important what we're doing. It's so much bigger than any one of us as individuals. Wow. Monica has a message for you, Jim.
It's from Monica.
She means it's unnecessary and not appropriate.
Yeah, Monica, really, she's just joking around. Don't take that seriously. All right, guys. On that note,
you know me, I take things more seriously than I should sometimes.
Yes, especially from Monica. She doesn't mean anything by that. That's not my wife is. She's just messing. And she loves you guys, and that's just all there is to it. So don't take it personal. I know. All right, guys.
My 7-year-old's like opening up something, and I'm trying to deal with that in the moment.
Yeah, look here.
just being playful.
That's all.
Hugs and kisses.
In Monica's own way.
That's right.
Yes.
And so, guys, all y'all stay on here while I wrap this up. All y'all stay on here while I wrap this up. We'll bring Graham in the back end, and see if we can get him working there, guys.
I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm from the other side. It's Yins.
All right. So, guys, appreciate everyone being here. Please, if you haven't already, share this video out to your groups. All right. We've answered a lot of questions. Please go ahead and do that. Go check out BB3 TV on Facebook. Thank you to BB3 TV for hosting us. Thank you to Taryn Kerper over there at the Paranormal Brew for hosting us. We appreciate you and all the support that we get from everybody. Guys, go check them out on YouTube and also on Facebook. She has great programs over there, great shows. Go check them out. And also, Off the Cuff with Dustin Heisey. We'll be back. But that's sometime down the future. I'm not even worried about it. So, and
again, shameless promotion, teachthecivilwar.com.
Absolutely. And Scott, do you have anything that you want to put out, my friend?
Nope, not really. That's about covers it.
All right. Sounds good.
I need to colorize another Rose Farm image for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How about the one
you do a fantastic job, by the way.
Thank you.
I love your colorization.
Yeah. How about the one that the one that I discovered? How about the ones on the dead guys under the tree. We can work on that from Georgia.
That would be a good one.
That's a good one.
We could use it in our book, so
because we're going to use it in the book.
The problem with colorizing dead ones is that it gets really morbid. You know what I mean? You're thinking about it, and it's really tough. I've done the V.
I've done it before. I've done it many times. So I know what you're talking about.
I told you guys before. I did the V formation. It was like one of the very first ones I did, and I hated it. I hated the color of the grass.
Right.
And did it again, and it just doesn't get any easier. I've been wanting to do the one where the guy with his side, and it's just like I don't think I can do it. It's really hard.
You can do it.
Maybe I'll get to it. I know I can do
both
it.
of those, and it's tough. It's tough, especially when you don't get the color just right. You have to go back to it.
Right. And then a guy told me online he was some kind of forensic guy or something like that one time. Told me he's like they're not dark enough. Like they're not blue enough. They're not black enough.
Oh yeah, I've been told that myself. Yeah.
You're always going to have the peanut gallery.
No, but I look at that as constructive criticism. Like there is,
because he knows what he's talking about.
He knows what he's talking about. This isn't Monica Heisey saying, "Well, his color should be purple, not blue." You know what I mean, kind of thing. This is an expert telling me that the skin should be darker.
Yes,
he's just being playful.
You know what I mean? So little things like that. There is when you do these things, I do my best to do research on them and how do you. What color shades of blue. I always like the butternut and grays are always, hard. Those kinds of things.
It's really tough.
It's really tough.
I find the Confederate side tougher than
hard. Something that's like I got to reach out to Lee and get the right color, for the units and stuff, or even like some of the things. It's just doing a little bit of research. It's really helpful when there's there's an example of it that you can pull colors from online. I grabbed a lot of photos from Remembrance Day that you can compare the zoo-offs and things.
Yeah, that's what I actually do. I take a modern photo and I put the subject of the past photo into the modern scene, and I colorize the main subject of the then photo.
Yeah, and I have that right up. I have it's another screen on my computer that's on right now. So, that's the easiest way. Then you can grab those colors, and I know we got off topic a little bit, Dustin, but
sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean that's like my show, Off the Cuff. I love that. That's what I love about podcasting in general. Just this stuff takes on a life of its own. But guys, seriously, I'd like to publicly thank you both. And Shane too, you work hard too in getting people out, interested. And I seriously do appreciate everything that you guys are all doing. And putting up with me. And, I know that in and of itself. I heard you. We'll talk about this later. But all right, guys, thanks so much for being here. We'll catch you guys next time. Stay tuned. Watch the PCWA 160th Battle of Gettysburg group page. That's where we put out most of our information. If you have any questions at all, you need anything, just don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm pretty good at getting back. And we will see y'all next time. Take care.